Congratulations on a book that has gotten many people talking. Critics loving it, saying it's a beautiful new way to talk about a story that everybody wants to be talking about right now. Interior Chinatown. It's a novel.
Yes.
But when you read it, it's basically written like a screenplay.
Right.
Why did you do that?
I work in Hollywood, so I already had the software, so it was easier. You know, I think a lot of what you were talking about in the previous segment, stories resonate with people.
Right.
And movies and TV really do. And I wanted to tell the story that way also because of what the story is about, which is a character, Willis Wu.
Right. It's interesting that you make it so simple because that's really what it is. It's a story about a character, Willis Wu, who is a man who just dreams of making it big on the big screen.
Right.
And what's beautiful and what resonates in the book is it talks about the challenges that he faces and so many Asian Americans and Asians in America have faced with being represented on screen in a way that is not boiled down to stereotypes.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it's his dream. So Willis's story is basically that his job is to be generic Asian man on a show called Black and White. And so, you know, everyone's seen Law and Order.
Right.
And you have the two leads in the front, and they're discussing the case. And way in the back, pretty much out of focus, is like an Asian guy unloading a van.
Right.
I was like, what if you told the story from that guy's point of view?
Uh-huh.
In the Law and Order universe.
Right.
And I started to get interested in this world and exploring the world because the view from the bottom looks different than the view from where the leads are standing.
It really is powerful because you talk about in this book one man's journey, but really a lot of this book deals with how Asians have been pushed to the side in America in a lot of storytelling. You know, some people have argued though that Asians have it good though because they go like, oh, at least Asian people have the model minority thing to them, so they're seen as less threatening and they're given more opportunities. But you have a different view on that idea.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, you know, the model minority is just sort of the age-old strategy of divide, you know, divide and conquer. And holding one group up justifies holding a group apart. And it's not just your sort of saying Asians have it good, you're kind of showing the other groups you could do it too, right?
Right, right.
And also the fact is there are plenty of Asians who have not succeeded.
Right.
You know, there are the characters in this book are struggling economically, they're struggling to assimilate culturally, and that's a story that we don't see as often. We see in the media stories about Asian American success, but not always this story.
In this book is a character who dreams of just getting to play the lead in a kung fu film. That's what he's dreaming of doing. Interestingly enough, though, and I mean, I get why the character's doing it. That's one of the things that you say, like, always broke your heart in the smallest way when you'd be watching TV with your family, is you'd look up when you see an Asian person on screen, you'd be like, wow, that's amazing. And then they would always be distilled into, like, a few categories. Like, why do you think that affected you so much, especially with your children?
Right. Yeah. I mean, it's exactly what's happening now. Is that I'm a dad, and my kids are old enough that we watch stories together, and sort of, I had made peace with being, you know, watching Asians on the side. But now they're old enough that I have to turn and explain to them, you know, why is that guy doing a funny accent? You know, or why is that person squinting their eyes and playing an Asian on TV? And you know, there has been a lot of progress. We see stories about Asians, but we still don't see enough, and we don't. I wanted to be able to, you know, explain to them, so I had to kind of work through it in this book. And you know, for instance, I was recently watching the Golden Globes, and I watched Awkwafina get that award, and my daughter was sitting next to me, and it was like I felt uplifted, and so did she. And I could see in her eyes that this was something that we'd both remember. And at the same time, we see things on TV where you sort of can't believe that that's still on TV in the year 2020. So.
Yeah, it's a really fun story, you know, that I love. It moves, it's fast-paced. It feels like you're watching a movie in a movie, which is really fun, and it talks about something that I think we all need to be talking about more. So thank you so much for being on the show. Congratulations on writing a fantastic book. Interior Chinatown is available now. Charles, you